Hi, my name is Mike Lewin and I'm running for Borough President. In my last video, I poked a little fun at Eric Adams for opposing an apartment building in Prospect Heights. But I'd like to talk about the serious issue that building raises. You see, the reason people in the neighborhood opposed that building wasn't because it was incompatible with the neighborhood. They made a very different NIMBY argument. They said, well, our neighborhood is already swimming in density, therefore we don't want any more dense buildings. In other words, the basic issue as a matter of principle is, should we have new housing in places that are already quote-unquote dense, that already have a lot of people and a lot of housing, or should we build our housing in Staten Island or perhaps in the middle of nowhere at the edges of suburbia? So I'd like to make the case in this video for building in Manhattan instead of building in the middle of nowhere. You see, if there's a new building in Manhattan and more people can live in Manhattan, that means those people have access to lots of subway lines and lots of buses and lots of things within walking distance. So those people mostly aren't going to drive. Those people mostly are going to take the subway, those people are going to walk, those people are going to take buses. I realize there are exceptions, but according to the census, 77% of Manhattan households don't own a car, which is a lot higher than the similar percentage in, say, Staten Island. By contrast, let's say we put all the new housing in Staten Island, or let's even put it at the end of the subway line in Bay Ridge or Jamaica Estates. Well, in those places, yes, some people will still take the subway, but certainly more people are going to drive. And some of those people are going to drive in Manhattan, creating more congestion and more pollution right here in this borough. More importantly, there are those people who own cars in Staten Island are going to be driving and creating congestion and pollution everywhere. And similarly, if the housing is shunted away from even Staten Island into the suburbs, say into Suffolk County, those people are going to drive even more than if they live in Staten Island, creating even more congestion and more pollution. So it seems to me, if you have any environmental instincts at all, if you think congestion and pollution from automobiles is a bad thing, you should favor building as much housing as possible in places where there's lots of mass transit and places that are very walkable, as opposed to building that housing in the suburbs and exurbs and at the end of the subway line. Thanks for listening.